Easy step on how to complete a Cayo Perico Heist solo. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. So before you start up a heist, you need to own a kosatka, which only costs about $2.2 million on its own. Now when it comes to cosmetic, I'd rather go for the more important vehicle, being the Sparrow, due to it being a very quick vehicle to travel and getting the preps easily completed. Now when it comes to the remaining cosmetics, I personally wouldn't really go for them. Just stick to the Sparrow. Otherwise, just find a random helicopter in one of the locations. So to start up a heist, it'll cost you 100k, and you have to go to one of these locations to grab a Vellum vehicle. Once you get to the location, make sure you try not to blow up, try not to damage the Vellum. And just take out these guards, which shouldn't be too difficult. Once you grab them, you go fly all the way to the Elbera Heights until you see the black screen. Once you reach to the Cayo Perico Island, you eventually get a cutscene to meet up. And the first place you need to go to is a hangar and loot in the. And make sure you take a photo of it, both on lower level and on the top level. And when it comes to the remaining stuff, if you see any guard clothing or a truck near together, it's best to take a photo, so that way you can reply as a disguise. And make sure you take a photo of the loot in the shed. So here I'm going to show you the route of how to get to the main primary target easily. You have to be very careful with driving, especially at night, because you might have a chance of hitting the bush, and sometimes it can kill you, but if you're lucky it won't kill you. Make sure before you get to the ramp, make sure the guard on the tower doesn't look at the ramp, so you won't get caught. And make sure you go behind the camera right in this video, and try and make sure you don't get caught by the patrol vehicle. Now once you get to this tower section, you may note if the guard is not near the tower, the chance of power to be on low level is increased. But if the guard is near the tower, it's more likely going to be on on top of the tower. So you're gonna be doing a bit of maths, so hope you're familiar with multiplication. Once you get that hack complete, you're just going to find the main loot, and then just find the remaining loot in there. So once you get to this section, if you're a new player, I also recommend taking a photo of the scoping out of the main dogs and near the main water tower near the compound, so that way you get the kosatka setup. Now once you take a photo of those things, make sure you follow the route that I'm going, and eventually make sure you don't get caught in a cone, so you don't get back to the airport. Or if it's your first time, you don't send back to the party at the beach. And you're just going to take a photo right in the shed. They will be randomized. You might get cash, weed, or powder. However, it depends on how often you play the KO. If you get a KO very sooner, you'll more likely get higher secondary loot. However, you get lower tier loot. Then once you get all the loot, you have two options. You either go up to the guard and force them to take you to the airstrip, or and a speedrun trick is that you go to interaction menu, go accessories, change an outfit, and then find a new session, and make sure you set it onto the preference of Kosatka so that you spawn in it. And eventually that's done. So it's going off to the approach. If you don't have the Phantom Wedge, I will go for the Kosatka. And if you have the Phantom Wedge, I suggest go for long fin because it's straightforward and very easy to complete. Kosatka is a little bit challenging. However, this is only you can do this if you don't have the Phantom Wedge, and as long as you park the Kosatka near the submarine, you should be complete the Kosatka prep easily. So I'm gonna show you in this clip a long fin prep. Make sure you look down so that what the Phantom Wedge spawns very near you. And all you have to do is just reverse to the trailer and pick it up and get to. You just had to drive it all the way to the docks in this clip. You'll see I'm just driving right to it, and make sure you park it right where I park it, and get out of the vehicle. And what you're going to do is blow yourself up so that way you lose the cops, and eventually you will get to deliver the vehicle long fin pretty easily. So that's the first prep, and once you finish it, make sure you call the Sparrow and make sure the Kosatka's near where you are. Next is the weapon loader. I recommend going for aggressor due to having a better weapon such as the aggressive shotgun. And if you keep getting, if you get anything but a weapon, the Meriwether HQ, that's the best one you can do. If you get the Meriwether HQ setup, just find a new session so you'll save a lot more time. Now I'm going to show you what many YouTubers don't show you is how to complete this prep without actually getting caught, which is possible. So first you kill this guard first, then the guard on the left, then you eventually kill the guard on the right in the room, then you kill the guard near the office, and that's it. You don't need to do anything. And eventually you just had to hack the computer, and eventually, which is pretty much just finding numbers. If you're lucky, you get it very soon. Otherwise, you want to find it. But once you get the weapons, make sure you go to roof and do not actually go to the ground. And once you get to the roof, before you get in the helicopter, I suggest you take down the guards hanging on the helicopter on the sides, because that way you don't get shot insanely from the helicopter. And just don't blow up these two helicopters, otherwise the new ones will spawn and they will damage your helicopter a lot more. So that's prep 2 for your weapons. So when it comes to cutting torch, this one you just need to go to one of the locations in construction site, and you're just gonna put on a hard hat. And the only simple tip I could give you when it comes to finding these is make sure you go first person so you can see these boxes pretty easily. And eventually you see a blue cutting torch and just pick it up. And the only location now when it comes to the warehouse, the fingerprint cloner, I suggest using BST because the guards in there will be very strong, and chances of getting killed by them is really high, like in the clip you see. I also recommend using assault shotgun and just do the hack. And then once you complete the hack, just take down these cameras before you enter the archives. Once you get in the building, you just gotta walk all to the office desk and just until you get the fingerprint cloner, and then just leave and return back. Now once you get to the plasma cutter, this one was also very tricky. if you don't have the sparrow, that's when the sparrow comes in clutch. You just need to go to safe house location, and you just need to look for a border that looks like this in the screen. And you just gotta take a photo, make sure you have a distance so that way it counts. And once you take a photo of it, you just need to take down these the enemies near the ground. And once you collect the plasma cutter, make sure you get through the checkpoint, because sometimes there's a glitch where if you collect the prep item, it still won't register to say return to the kosatka. And make sure you kill the remaining enemies, because they will destroy you pretty easily. And once you got all the preps, you're eventually up to the final setup, the heist. And I'll show you the route that I take. Now everyone is different, so I don't expect they like to have the same results. Like for me, since I got the disguise, in this clip I'll show you, I will take the disguise route. But if you took a photo or scope out the water drainage in the compound, you will find you actually can go that path, which is the most recommend. So here I'm going to use the forklift to lift one of the crates, and this will eventually allow me to get the loot up there. And when it comes to whatever the prep or project you go for, if you got the kosatka, you just had to swim all the way to the drainage. But the reason I go for longfin is that way I could grab the secondary loot before I grab the primary loot. And make sure you just don't knock the barrels off, so you can climb up pretty easily. And make sure you go first person. And before you kill, you can either choose to kill the patrol vehicle or let them drive off. Just make sure you don't actually kill these guards before the patrol vehicle comes over, or after with the patrol vehicle, and then take out the guard up and then destroy the camera over there. But I suggest grabbing the clothing gear, and make sure you don't go into the kind of visions. Even if you're behind a wall, sometimes they will pick you, sometimes they spot you pretty easily, which could get very annoying. So as you see, I fill up the bag, and I'm going to grab my disguised vehicle and drive all the way to the compound. At that point, if you don't have disguise, you just grab the long fin or any boat and just drive all the way to the drainage after you fill up the bag with the secondary loot. And just make sure when it comes to disguise, make sure you don't stand near the cone, because you eventually be spotted. The only time that the disguise can be very helpful is if just prevent being seen on camera. So once you get to the compound, press the home button, whether you're on console or PC, just press the button that allows you to home. So once you get to the compound, the first thing you do is get to the middle, and you want to make sure you get it right where you can get to where the fountain is, and you just gotta wait till one of the guards, the red guards, look away, and until they get to this location, that's when you will kill them straight away. And then after that, you kill the following guard over here, and then make sure you wait for the guard to get to your site, and then you shoot them with the assault shotgun, and make sure they drop one of the gate keys and open up the safe to reveal some extra loot. Now in this clip, I did jump over on this side. You don't really have to do that. You can go down the stairs and just normally, but I just decided to go down there because there's no guard looking. Then you just gotta lock the door, and you just gotta go through to a hacking with the fingerprint. So when it comes to the fingerprint, it's not really too difficult. You just need to follow along. Just make sure you memorize the number of the fingerprint, so that way you easily complete the puzzle. If you complete this on hard mode, it will just be 2 fingerprints to be completed. So once you get to the primary loot, make sure you don't hold it too hard, otherwise you will burn your hand. And all you have to do is just do like once you reach the red heat, that's when you just let it go, or just let it go when you're in the middle. Once you get the primary target, you just gotta make sure the Juggernaut is looking as well, and you've got to follow the route where I'm going. You can also try kill those 2 guards, but that will be very risky, and you might get caught easily. Once you get out of the compound, you just need to kill this guard over here on near the bike, and take the bike, and before you drive off to the ledge, you are going to kill this guard near the Valkyrie helicopter. And before you drive off, make sure you take out one of the patrol vehicles, because otherwise the body will be spotted and the helicopters might disrupt you swimming, which is what you're gonna be doing. We just take the bike, follow the route that I'm showing, and eventually till when you see the ramp, that's when you can lift your wheel, do the wheelie to glide a little bit more, and make sure you put on a rebreather so you can breathe a little longer, and make sure you go south so that way you get to the checkpoint quicker. And as you see, I'm speeding up this video. It is going to take a while unless you have the scuba gear from the kosatka approach, then you probably get there quicker, but otherwise you just have to swim until you reach the checkpoint, and eventually you get the final loot, or should I say the final pay. Now, even though I got the least the second worst done, the second worst loot, I still got at least close to $1 million, which is really good. And personally, even though it got nerfed twice from the criminal prize as well as the San Andreas Mercenaries update, it's still considered one of the best for solos, or if you're doing with a friend, it's also okay as long as you can do it back to back. And once you load up, you do have if you're playing this on solo, you have like a 3 hour 45-minute cooldown, real life cooldown. If you're playing with a group, with more group, you'll have dropped to like at least an hour or 22 minutes, something like that. So overall, I hope you enjoy this video. I know this is a pretty simple guide, but I thought this might help you out. So I hope this guide helped you out, and most importantly, have a great day.